Hey everyone, how's it going? Voyager here. So recently the Voyager was released in FGO. I was going to do this video before his release, but now that he's out, we have even more evidence towards his identity. Something that people have already guessed before. A few people I saw on like Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube comments, all over the place, who already guessed his identity. And I think most are probably correct on this. So let's cut to the chase. Who is Voyager? Well, as his name says, he is the Voyager. Literally. And I think this is a nice move to actually just call him the Voyager, make people think he might be something else than he is, but actually just telling us straight up what he is. He's Voyager 1, the space probe. I was watching the stream and I was like, you know, maybe they could be vague about his character or whatever. And I literally saw on the stream this picture. So this is what they showed on the stream. And then once I saw 1977, I was like, oh, he's a space probe. That's all you need to know. 1977 is the year the space probe was launched. But I mean, we're just going to go down the list of evidence we have towards saying why he is the space probe Voyager. And then we'll think about how could he possibly become a servant, or how could it possibly become a servant. And I think I have a few answers, but overall I'm just going to say hold your suspension of disbelief. So the first thing we want to get out the way is this is the design of it. You can see the pale blue light and the gold geometric shapes. So you can see the inspiration for the design. Again, 1977 when the probe was launched originally. I think the overall general aspect that he has stars and stuff like that incorporated with his moveset. And to be honest, his like first two ascensions are very Kingdom Hearts feely. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because of like the really bold effects. Or I should say like the bold effect shapes. Next up we have his Noble Phantasm, pale blue dot. If you don't know what the pale blue dot is, it's us, it's Earth. Now, I love space, I love astronomy, I love everything about it. The pale blue dot, it might just seem like to people like a little speck, a pixel on this gradient background, but to me it's really freaking beautiful. Now, in my opinion, his Noble Phantasm is only good when he gets to his final ascension. This is where I really feel like pale blue dot. Even more so, I think maybe a fade to black with just a little dot would have been great to add, but you know, it's good for what it is. Next up we have the command codes. This one's pretty obvious why it looks just like NASA. And then in the event itself, we use a game piece that looks a lot like the Voyager one. These are going to be excerpts from Requiem itself. This part is from the prologue, by the way, it's on YouTube. I did it already, so go check that out. This is most likely isn't even a good way to say it. This is definitely a reference to the Golden Record. So the line goes, next to enter my ears came the words, although they were in languages unknown to me, but all of them were short, like words of greeting. And here's an excerpt from Voyager.nasa.gov. The remainder of the record is in audio. It contains spoken greetings, beginning with Akkadian and ended with Wu, a modern Chinese dialect. And then here's another excerpt. First to come was the music, a lone piano, a woodwind ensemble, a vocal chorus, and even somewhere a whimsical tone of electric guitar. Melodies played by a multitude of instruments faded in and then out again, one after the other. But it wasn't real orchestra, it was unmistakably being played back, and his recording quality was hardly the best at that. It would have been extremely low fidelity, even if it hadn't been underwater. Now, this is because it was all recorded back in 1977, or at least around that time period. Compared to 2025, I think that's the date the story takes place, that would be far beyond just outdated. Here's another one from chapter 1. Hey, do you think you tell me where you came from? He smoothly lifted his arm to point towards the ceiling. From the sky. From heaven? You don't mean the moon, do you? He shook his head at all of them. I've come from somewhere very far away. Here's another one. What about B612? Yes, he nodded in answer. No hesitation. You know it? It's a planet, isn't it? But no one's there. I was silent for a moment. That's right. It's a planet. Of course it is. I see, so no one's there, but I think I might know your true name now. Now, of course, this led her to believe that he might have been the Little Prince. But there's even more in this chapter that leads us to believe he is, of course, the satellite. I would like to give a brief introduction to one final figure, an American whose one small step signified a giant leap for mankind. This was the first man to stand on the moon. He too counts among the great pioneers of the human race. A single voice, quavering not with wonder, but with astonishment. A human went to the moon? A living human? Indeed, it would be 56 years before the modern day. 3 astronauts ventured to the moon, and 2 among them descended and walked upon its surface. So there you have it, some pretty good evidence to the Voyager being Voyager 1. Now, where does that leave the world exactly, if Requiem? Someone had already left a comment on my Fate Requiem video. What is Fate Requiem? I was just checking it out because they had a pretty good conversation. So one of the issues in the story of Fate Requiem is that there is no more mystery. Humans have pretty much become perfect. They're immortal, they have grails inside them, they have servants to accompany them. They live almost a perfect life with barely any conflict outside of regular human drama. There's something in the Fate universe called mystery, and mystery is something that propels the world. This is the extra from the Fate wiki. It is the source of all supernatural phenomena such as magecraft or ESP. Mystery accumulates over time and grows stronger with age, but in this world, there is no more mystery. Any human can possibly become a figure like a servant. Since they become immortal due to the power of the Grail, the legend of being immortal, or at least anything of that status, is now denied. Which is maybe why the Voyager is the final servant, because he is the final thing of human history that went to seek out more answers, to seek the mysteries of the universe. He is literally the last bastion of the hunger of knowledge, the pursuit of answers. So how did the Voyager come to be if he is just a space probe? He's not a living creature. We've got people like Sherlock Holmes walking around, who's just a fictional character. But luckily we do have a character that's similar to the Voyager, Nursery Rhyme. Again, another excerpt from the wiki. It is not a hero in the traditional sense, but a general term for any picture book that managed to manifest itself into corporeal existence. It is a genre deeply loved by the children of England that came into being as a reaction of the half-voiced dream of the young. It eventually emerged as a servant who became the champion of the innocent. So maybe in a similar way, the people who believed in the Voyager back then to find and uncover the answers, to seek more, to travel further than we have ever gone before. Maybe it's those people's wishes who created the servant, the Voyager. Now, here's the other part of it. It could possibly just be that the Voyager, the probe itself, came across something. This wouldn't be new, this wouldn't be anything crazy for the Fate franchise, but it came across something that transformed the probe into a servant. Or it is the probe, the idea of the probe, and something else. Now honestly, I think that's all we really can say about him, until we wait for more reliable translations to come out for FGO. So if anything, this is just a surface level look. I have a few other questions such as, what about the Voyager 2, the twin? Or what about any of the other probes out there, such as the Pioneer 10 or 11? But honestly, we'll probably find out some more answers later on. Again, if you haven't, check out the Fate Requiem prologue I've already done. It's around 40 minutes long. I'm going to keep doing Fate Requiem stuff, the chapters at least I should say. I want to make them into sections. That way I'm not like over bombarding myself with too much work here. And again, if you want to do any voice work for Fate Requiem, just email me or hit me up on Discord. I have a Twitter too, Blue Riser. You can hit me up on there as well. It'd be great if I can get some help with it. But yeah, more Fate Requiem stuff coming out. Chapter 1 stuff should come out within, I want to say June, just to not push it too hard, June. And I think that's it. Be sure to check out the channel if you're interested in Fate Requiem. I'll definitely see you guys next time. Peace out.